Let's get right into it. Batwoman season 1, episode 7. Tell me the truth, and the last truth is being inadvertently told. First and foremost, as the title suggests, some truth was being told. Even if it wasn't out of Kate's actual lips, the truth was still found out. Julia Pennyworth, which is Alfred's daughter, who happens to be a former fling of Kate, reemerges out of thin air after trying to take down the rifle once again, after Kate failed to do so. Well, actually, no, no, matter of fact, no, she didn't fail to do so. It was the fact that the rifle was being hunted by both Batwoman and Julia. Julia, who I just said, is a former fling of Kate's, and those two actually squared off a little bit. They had a bit of a scuffle, which actually led to the rifle which actually led to the rifle escaping the first time. There you go. And we learn about her hero history. She pretty much pretended to be a Krav Maga instructor. Like I said, her and Kate had a fling, but the whole thing was a whole fake scene, which was part of Bruce Wayne's whole thing to watch over Kate after she got expelled from the military academy and so on. Kate found out about that, and she just chucked the deuces up to Julie, and they said, oh, "Okay, whatever." Obviously, Julia obviously already knows about her being Batwoman, things of that nature. Speaking of Batwoman in the Batcave, um, Alice actually, alters the Batwoman killing gun actually, so that way it doesn't maim anybody. And and very true to the title of this episode, um, Sophia already knows that Kate is Batwoman. She says, "Look, I'm gonna give you an ultimatum. Either you tell your father that you're Batwoman, or I will." And also, and then also, Sophia also said that she was gonna tell her husband Tyler. Now she also has another thing to tell Tyler about her damn near getting expelled from military academy, which and he actually stormed off. Why wouldn't you storm off? I mean, that's the one big secret that you didn't tell your husband. And then not even just that, I'm gonna tell you the difference between Sophia and Kate. Kate had the balls to actually have a backup plan and was actually had a safety net. Kate's very defiant. She stands in a square and so on. And whereas with Sophia, she doesn't. She has no backing whatsoever. My thing is, why didn't she just have a conversation and brief Kate about this, about her switching her mind instead of doing that? And then also Kate's father just being cruel about it, man. I think there could have been a way better ways of doing that, bro. We're definitely messed up. And but in this episode in particular, Jacob and Catherine are getting a divorce, and not to mention Sophia and Kate finally part their ways, thank God. But Kate gets emotional and buys a restaurant right across the street from a homophobic ass guy because they were trying to have a conversation, but before they can get that underway, the rifle strikes out again, and Kate had to take care of that. But in order for her secret identity to actually be foiled before um, Sophia snitches to her husband and to Jacob about who the Batwoman really is, Kate decides to let Julia wear the cowl, the Batwoman costume, so that way when Sophia, Jake, Sophia and Jake see the Batwoman, they can see Kate standing right next to her. So then that way they won't be like, "Oh, wait, seriously?" It's actually It's a very good callback to season 1 of Arrow uh, when Diggle finds out about Oliver. I thought that was a very great callback. Which we come to find out, actually, Mouse has actually been disguised as Jacob this entire time. It was actually pretty anticlimactic because we haven't really seen, Jacob act out of character aside from, the flashback because obviously that's the real Jacob. But so for Mouse to be pretending to be Jacob this whole time was a little anticlimactic, but hopefully they pick it back up. But I've also figured out how Ruby Rose really steals the show. Like there are some times where most of the time in this season so far, I'm not trying to be critical of this season or anything of that nature or the actors or the show, but there are times where a lot of the times like the dialogue is very forced. It's a little inauthentic. But there seems like when Ruby Rose's character opens up a gay bar next door to the homophobic restaurant, and she flaunts like a rainbow flag in the window, that feels and looks more authentic to me than any other thing. Whenever there's like forced dialogue and so on and so on. So let me know what you guys think about tonight's episode of Batwoman season 1 episode 7. Tell me the truth. This has been your boy Shafferspeeks. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, that jazz. Peace and love.